I'm Soccer Man, and why am I a Roblox noob? Hold on. Sometimes Roblox just does that. I'm Soccer Man, and this is the Ring 1 Tower Rush event item speedrun. So, what the Tower Rush is first of all, I'm going to go there through the secret way. So the Ring 1 Tower Rush is doing all the towers in Ring 1 all in a row, without breaks, no dying, no fails. And, well, you don't do the soul crushings, but there are 13 towers in total, 12 towers and 1 citadel, which you do at the very end. With that, we use the very broken event items that are right here. Here are the 5 event items that I'll be using during this run. First of all, the double jump potion. You can't use it in the lobby, but when you drink it, it gives you a double jump, like, permanently. Very helpful. Next is the ugly presence. It doesn't even look ugly, but whatever. It's a placeable platform that you can use and gives you just barely enough height. Very useful, and you can pick it back up. Next is the snow globe, which allows you to slowly fall. It's like a glide, and it really helps to get just a bit of extra distance. And if you fail, you can just glide to safety. Next is the soda. You just drink it, and it gives you a bit of a speed boost. But it's temporary, and it goes away. It takes a while to recharge, so you have to use it at a good time. But usually it helps to make walking parts faster. Where you just walk, like if you had the speed boost, yeah. Next is the gravity coil. Well, it's the winter coil. This was from a Christmas event a few years ago, and it gives you more of a boost than the normal coil you could buy on in the game passes. Very useful. I'm going to be using this for most of the run. Now, all 5 of these items have very good synergy, which makes it fun to go through these towers, just completely destroying them. So we're going to start with the very first tower in the Tower Rush. This is Toast, the tutorial tower. And now I'm just showing off the first use of it. Now, using the coil and the gliding and the double jump, it is a very good combination. Very good. Going to be grabbing all of these buttons. Oh, sometimes that happens. Sometimes your double jump just fails. It's kind of awkward, but it just happens. You have to prepare for it. So here's the speed floor. What you want to do, a nice thing about having these coils and all these like powers is that you can just jump over the red blocks that stop you from going fast, you know? You can keep your speed for the whole rest of the tower, and this is exactly what we do in Toast. Going to be using the presence. I think this tower is a great example of showing how all of these go together. Now we're going to be hitting a teleporter above me. That's there. If you fail this spinner part, it just takes you back. We use trampoline to skip all that. Yes, this tower is a very good showcase. Going to be avoiding something that makes it so I can't see very well, but this tower, very good showcase of how all these items work together. They have a very good synergy to them. That makes this run pretty fun. Allows for some good skips. Like this one right here. You can just jump all the way over there, hit the teleporter, and then beat Toast in under 2 minutes. So next we have the Tower of Anger. Now, something else to note about the Tower Rush is that it resets your character just back to 0 every time you enter a new tower. So you have to drink the double jump potion again, you have to drink the soda again, because, you know, why not? You're at the start. This also brings all your health back to 100, so if you have low health at the end of a later tower, it's not gonna matter, because you're gonna start with 100 at the start of the new ones, so you'll be fine. Now, I wish there was more to talk about with Tower of Anger, but it is a tower with a lot more, I guess, just walking, where you don't really do much, but there are still some good skips. I basically want to cut corners any chance I can get. Now, I want to be scaling these 2 at a time, but it is pretty challenging, but it does save time. But With towers like Tower of Anger or Madness, when you don't really have a major skip, just a lot of shortcuts, you just want to be cutting corners as much as you can, because it will save time. Now sometimes you just barely don't have enough height, and you have to be careful with your present. You don't want it to fall over or anything, you want it to stay. So sometimes you have to be really precise with it, especially on thin platforms like a one-stud platform, just like I showed right there. We're going to be approaching the end of Tower of Anger soon. Take the invisible platform placed there on purpose. And now you have the end of this tower, basically. You can't do this without this combination. It's very helpful. And now you just have the final staircase. Okay, now I have not even a tower, which is the shortest tower out of the whole tower rush. It's pretty easy to hit a ceiling though when you're just trying to make it to the end. Ooh, I fell out. So now's a good time to mention that if you ever fall, you can just clip back in like this, doing a dance clip. Corner clips may be patched, but you're still able to do that at least. So if I ever fall on an outside like that, I can just do that. And now, just to reassure you, if I ever end up dying during the tower rush in a marathon, what I'll just do is that, like, I'll just go and just play the towers normally. Because it would be really awkward to die near the end of a run. Now this is Tower of Madness. It's one of the shorter towers, but you still want to watch your health, because there are a lot of kill bricks at the start. Now you take this shortcut right here, which is this invisible ladder, which allows me to skip a whole floor that I can do this floor by just kind of scaling the wall like that. And now we're on the later half, and here's the first true outside. But thankfully, if I fall, I can just clip back in. It'll just lose a lot of time, and nobody wants that. Now, this is probably the most stressful part of Madness, but I got through. These are the final floors of the tower right here. Another thing to note is that the double jump, you are not able to double jump if you ever jump off a ladder or do a ladder flick. You just can't double jump. So I have to be careful of that during runs and just try not to jump off ladders. So now this is the end of Madness. Next is the Tower of Killjoys. This is one of the longer towers in the ring. But to my benefit, there are a lot of skips in this tower that kind of make it a joke. See, I just skipped to the third floor, which allows me to avoid doing the tower crossing, but sadly, this is the one thing I have not found a skip for. I do have to do the push boxes. I don't need the key those, I can just jump on the key barrier thing And now we're going to be making a big jump there, and that's an example of if I fail, I can just glide to get back. You have to be careful of your presence, but it's important because you get to skip this really boring part where you get all the keys. I don't want any keys. I'll just go forward. And now we're at the end of the ascending part of this tower, and very close to the actual end of this tower. So now we're going to the first major skip of the run, Killjoy skip, which allows me to skip the whole descending part by using my globe, just barely touching it with my arm with the globe. Now, I'm not sure what makes that trick not kick me, because I am pretty sure that it is still possible to get kicked from the game for doing the tower out of order. So, during this kind of slower part, where you basically skip everything in tower effect. Hold on, I'm gonna be quieter. This song is great. So as I was saying, you can get kicked from doing the tower out of order. Ooh. That double jump failed me. But yes, you can get kicked from doing the tower out of order. Because, oh, wow. But JTO has a system called checkpoints, where it's these invisible little barrier things that you have to hit for the game to count you touching the win pad as a legit win, so the game's anti-cheat does not kick you. And it can happen in tower rushes. I've tried doing the oops. I've tried doing the Ring 2 tower rush before, and I remember getting kicked in the Tower of Deep Darkness for skipping the checkpoints and doing the tower out of order. So you do have to be careful that you don't do a huge skip. Now, in the individual level speedruns of this game, that doesn't matter. If you get kicked from the game for beating it, it's still a legit run. Like, I can put it on the leaderboard. I can get it verified on the leaderboard, even if I got kicked. But with tower rushes, you have to do all of it. You can't really just get kicked from every tower and then just go to the next one. So so sometimes some skips are out of the question. Now, another thing about the anti-cheats in this game is that when you play a regular tower, you can get kicked from beating tower too early, which has happened to me a few times when practicing towers before I do a full tower rush. Oh, and that's 410. But in the tower rush, that doesn't matter. You can beat these towers as quickly as you want and you won't get kicked. They'll just move you on to the next one. So you won't get kicked in the tower rush for being too fast, which is a relief. So this is Tower of Keyboard Yeeting. I wouldn't say this is the halfway point, not yet. I'd say this is still pretty early on. Now, in this run, a lot of the easier towers, the early towers, they're all really short, and you can just, like, skip all of them, you know, in, like, a minute or two. Usually 3 or 4 minutes. But when you get to the more difficult towers, those start to take longer, and it basically makes up the second half of the run. Oh. Okay, oops. good thing I can glide back, but I would say starting with Tower of Rage, I would say that would be the second kind of half of the run. Maybe even Tower of Stress. Now, do a major skip. Now, this is one of the few times where using a cola, not a cola, just a soda, it's gonna really help with doing like jumps like that, because that skip is pretty tough. And I got to mute the music. Unfortunately, the last few songs of this tower are copyrighted. I actually don't know why they're copyrighted. Just don't want to get the VOD muted, you know? Now this is the end of the tower. Now this part right here is really challenging. Now with tight ropes, I want to try not to spend time on tight ropes, because there is a strategy I can do where, okay, alright, I can mute music. So here is Tower of Stress. I would say this is probably the first tower that really becomes challenging in a run, as in there's stuff that can really just throw you off or troll you or whatever. But here's the start of, so here's me going to a ladder earlier than the game wants me to be. I'm not supposed to be here till later. And then I can just go right back onto the ladder. That non-collide ladder can't troll me. I'm on the 4th floor already. I'm surprised I made that. Now this part is really annoying. You have to be on the edge of the ladder to make it, because it's kind of awkward to like jump around when you have to coil. Very awkward. Now something else to note, one big downside about the globe is that, not the globe, yeah, the snow globe, one big downside, why can't I jump? Okay, one big downside about the snow globe is that when you climb onto something, it moves you, it doesn't make you climb, it makes you climb down. So sometimes when you make a really tough jump, you have to unequip the globe at like the last seconds, just so you actually climb onto it. It's pretty challenging. And now we have floor 7, Tower of Stress. Now when I first played this game back in 2018, I hated this floor. It was so tough, but I can just skip all of it. Okay, so now we have this floor. Do that jump. Now here's the toughest part of Stress. You skip the whole part with the ladder. That's a tough part. It's stressful. So now you have this part with the fallen platforms. Just gonna jump around. And now floor 10, final floor. Probably one of the first major parts where you actually have to be careful, especially with just one-stop platforms. So now you have the tower of, I think, screen punching. Now what makes these early floors interesting is that there's multiple paths you can take to the end of the floor. I do this tower differently every time I play it. And now here's an old skip I remember using when I first played this tower a long time ago. Okay, now for the next floor. You can just kind of skip everything. this is definitely the point in the run where you have to be a lot more careful with all your jumps. I'm going to be getting the speed boost for this part. And again, here's another part with many different routes you can take, but this is what I use. What am I doing? I could have just done that. Now here's the next floor. Just going to be doing that to skip all of it. Now here's a floor that's really easy to skip everything on. There we go. Now here is floor 9. Yes, this tower only has 9 floors for some reason. Now this is a tough one. You have fin studs, which are very tough to do, but with that route, I don't have to worry about anything. So now we have Tower of Rage. This is probably my least favorite tower to play in terms of the tower rush. There's just a lot of challenging parts to it. You have this part with the ice rope, the ice tightrope. Very tough. Now this part, this is probably the toughest, one of the toughest floors in the whole tower. Just because of these spinning platforms. Very tough to use when you have a gravity coil. It's like one of the few times where it's better to just not use the coil. Now you have this one. Now this part is very tricky too. You have those platforms that can just launch you, but here's a very cool strat. I don't have to wait. I'm just gonna climb it, just like that. Now this part's pretty tough too. A lot of one-stud platforms. You have to be very precise. Oh, missed the cycle just barely. Oh well. Now this, like the whole rest of this tower, starting from this point, is why I think it's more difficult than the next tower, Impossible Expectations. I think this one is more challenging than Impossible Expectations, just from these last few floors. Got a good cycle of that. Now here's a scary strat here. Jumping on the spinning platform that's supposed to troll you. Oh, and here we are. This is the one time. This is what I mean. This is how I deal with tight ropes. I have to flick my mouse every time I land just so I get a guaranteed jump. Just so I can get the double jump. That's a pretty good way just to get through all of it though. Pretty good route to get through tightrope maze. Okay, now we have Impossible Expectations. Now, this tower, it's very easy to choke. Probably the most stressful tower of all the towers here. But I think it's probably the best showcase of what you can do with these event items. Because every single one is used here in a really good way. Now, here's a very, very tough present placement. Come on. Come on. Come on. No, come on. Come on. Please. I'm gonna try a different way, different method. Is that enough? We'll see. Come on. Oh, that was close. Now this is a really annoying present placement. I think I got it this time. There we go. Pretty good skip, but it's really annoying. Going to be almost making that jump, but I failed. Ooh, close one. Here's the next floor. Another present is needed. Alright, let's hope I can get this first try. This is really tough. Sometimes you just don't have the height for it. Oh no, 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 no. Okay, that was stressful. Very tough one to... There we go. I made it. Now, floor 8. Probably the toughest floor in the tower, but not the most stressful one. Here is 8 outside, which is probably where a lot of runs have died here, but I can just use the present, so it's easy. Now, floor 9. I'm gonna need to take the soda. I'm gonna need the speed here. Okay, I have to be very careful with my movement here. I'm trying to avoid taking damage as long as possible, because we are in the toughest part of the tower. And with no choice, I'm not going to wait and heal. We're gonna have to be very careful with my present. If you place a present on the corner, it'll flip over, and it'll provide basically as a platform. But you don't want to re-equip the present too fast, because it could just make you explode and die, which I've had happen to me like probably 3 times in this tower. Now, oh, okay, you're gonna troll me. Now, ideally, I don't want to have to wait and heal, which is why I do present strats in the first place. Although it can be very stressful, especially when your HP gets low and you're so close to making it to the end. It's very, very tense. Are you going to flip over? Okay, suit yourself. Again, suit yourself, come on. Flip over. Okay, just barely made it out there alive. Whoa, I'm at 1 health. But it's over. That's it. Just go around the truss so you don't get trolled at the very end, and that's true skill. And I'm back at 100 HP. So now this is technically the toughest tower in the whole, I guess, Ring 1, at least in the Tower Rush, but to me it is more, it's just kind of there. It is pretty challenging, but it's structured in a way where you can still skip a lot of it. Because a lot of things are close together. There aren't that many like tiny studs that make doing major skips very tough. Like, take this fort, for example. Okay, I failed it, but it's okay, that can happen. I just gotta... See? I just skipped to most of the floor doing that. Have to be careful here. Okay, now we're on the speedrun floor where you can do a major skip here. And then that's it. Now you have this part here, normal jumps. I still want to be careful here though. You never want to fall. Okay, floor 7. This is a lot easier than floor 6, because you can just skip all of it. And now here's floor 8, which, you know, this is supposed to be a tough one where your HP goes really low, but yeah. Okay. Very tough part. Now this is floor 9. Pretty tough floor. Oh, and here is floor 10 of true skill. Oh, this is stressful. But, hey, I did it. So now, after all that, we have... What? What? What was that? This is the Citadel laptop splitting, the final challenge of the Tower Rush. Now, there's a lot of interesting things you can do with these items. Now, if you had that one Sprite Cranberry item, you can just, you know, clip into this one area and then just go to floor 12, like, instantly. But since I don't have that item, and I think this is more interesting, anyways, this is what I do for laptop splitting. Now, since this is the end of the Tower Rush, it really doesn't matter what I do. I can skip any floor I want, and it won't matter. Because if I get kicked, it doesn't matter. The run will still get verified. So, it gives me a lot of room to think of, like, good ideas for it. I just do a lot of skips. And here's floor 5, which, like the key floor in Killjoys, I don't like, so I'm just going to skip all of it. Another case of something that's just... Oh my... Okay. My double jump failed me. Well, it can happen here. Now here's the next floor. Now, I could just go to the basement immediately, but I have to hit a button to allow me to do it, because this... It has a lot of things just so that... It has a lot of anti-cheat. It really doesn't want you to be skipping, like, a million floors. Ooh. Okay. Good recovery, but you want to hit this button right here, and lets you go to the basement. So after that, I can just go right to the basement, and now this is a skip I found. Just like the very beginning of the run, I want to be keeping my speed boost as long as possible. Where'd that button go? But here it is. This is Fraser Skip. Yes, I named it. So now I have the Fraser Skip. I have my speed boost, and I'm going to be clipping into the basements. And now we're in the basement, and we have the speed boost. And since I have the coil, I can just do whatever I want in the basement. I can just skip all of it. Goodbye. And I still have my speed boost. Hit the button there. Okay, that's not working. What's I have to do? Huh? Why are there... Why are there platforms there? What? That's new. Yeah, huh? Must be a new update. Now, here's probably my least favorite part of the tower. One outside. But if I want to get to the rest of the tower, I have to do one outside. And since I didn't get a good cycle, I have to wait for this platform to slowly move down. Oh, here it is. And now I have to be careful. I have to be really careful here. I don't want to fall out of the elevator. Like, look at that. What? Oh, here we go, floor 7. Alright, floor 7. So now I still have my speed booster, by the way. I'm going to be doing a tough jump here to skip a lot of it. And now we're on blue floor. Oh, wait. Hey? Okay. Going to be skipping this last step here. Now we're going to be doing a pretty major skip. I'm trying to get a wall hop from here. Ooh, I didn't make it. Well, and going to this floor removes your speed booster, unfortunately, but it doesn't matter because I just get it again just seconds later, only to lose it again. But this is... I think this is... No, yeah, it's floor 9. This is floor 10. Now, floor 10... I managed to find a skip in floor 10 recently. Now, this is a tough one to get. I'm not sure if I'll get it first try, but I will try for it. Okay. Speed. Okay, give me speed boost. Can I make it? Can I make it? We made it! I don't have to do the bun challenge that way. So now this is the floor 11. It's really short. Oh, close one. So now floor 12, welcome to heck. Yeah, but I can just skip all of it, so yeah. Now you're on floor 13. It's a climatic kind of floor. You have another speed boost, and I'm going to be keeping this till the very end of the tower. Now here's the last really stressful skip. I call it... It's just... I don't have a name for it. I just know it just takes me to 13B. Okay, I made it. Okay, I made it. Now I have the speed boost until the tower's over. Okay, 15. Can I get the 37? Oh, this is a 37 pace run. This is a new PB. But yeah, that's it. And I get kicked. But that doesn't matter. The run's over. I'm glad to see I got a new PB in this run. So that is basically Power Rush. You just basically you get to see just all of Ring 1 in 40 minutes. And it's really broken. I hope that was a good kind of explanation, kind of a showcase of how the run works. Alright.